But yeah, give us a little hello if you're there. And today we're going to cover one of the fundamental reasons you're not losing weight. Probably end up being a rant, but hey.
It doesn't really need to be a rant, does it?
No, not really. We're going to try not.
So Ross wrote an email. The email was a little bit ranty about three fundamental reasons why you're not losing weight.
Mm-hmm. But we're just going to cover one what we see regularly within our own clients, and one what I see from a lot of other people not doing. So yeah, give us a hello, will yous? Instead of us just talking to a screen.
Someone's clicked a like in. Someone's put a thumbs up.
I'll have a like, yeah. A like will do. We'll give it a minute and then we'll get cracking with it. Hope everyone's good. It's the last day of homeschooling as well. Yippee! So a lot of parents are going to be getting pissed the need. Teachers as well. And then it's only another 2 weeks and they're off for 2 weeks. Shocking.
Shocking.
They need to stay there.
I would never be a teacher.
You sort of are. But you just teach adults.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I couldn't teach children.
No, definitely not. It's been awful.
I feel sorry for the fact that they've got double workload, so they've got loads to do at home to sort out the Zoom sessions and the home prep, and then looking after the kids and teaching the kids in the classroom too. Definitely. Right, we'll just get cracking. Yeah, we'll get cracking. So if you are there, give us a hello in anyway, and if you have any questions at all, you can just slap them in, or questions on the topic what we're covering. So one of the fundamental reasons you're not losing weight, the big one is that boring steps, those 10,000 steps plus. It is one of the major things what you need to do. It's just part of your daily activity and what people should just be doing in general, really, general movement. I know that a lot of people are working from home, which makes it more difficult. Even all the office workers who are normally out in the office, it's generally a little bit harder for them. But it's one of the things you must crack on with, really. Sarah, you got anything just before I go off on one? Because you know what I'm like. I don't mind. Go off on one.
Go off on one. Right. So generally what I'll say, like say for the typical person who is training and is generally on point with the diet as well, we'll use that as an example. I think I used an example on my post the other day. So generally the person who's training 3-4 times a week, they might be doing well with their food as well. Maybe it's like, say, 1,500 to 2,000 calories average per day, so say 1,700 across the week per average. Then maybe it's getting in those 3 sessions per week. But if you're only doing that, and you're only, say, mooching about the house and doing your homeschooling and doing everything else, you probably 3,500 steps, 3,000 steps.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Between 3 and 5.
Between 3,000 and 5,000 steps. Where was I going with that? And generally the typical calories burnt on those days, I mean, at 2,000 at the very most on those days, even if you're training once, and then only if you're training once, your food's on point and you're just mooching about the house and all the rest of it, you're probably only burning around that. So you're offsetting what you're eating, even if you're being good. So you probably end up out of the week, and maintenance maybe is a little bit down, but not much. So one of the big things is getting those steps in, because like say you are getting only say 3,500 steps in, that means you're missing 6,500 steps throughout your day, or activity wise. I mean, it's not classed really as steps, it's more of your activity wise outside of there, but you're missing that 6,500 steps. And me and Sarah have this 3-mile loop around our house.
The hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel, yeah. What we've had to hit since obviously the very first lockdown, where we're not in the gyms coaching or anything like that, where obviously Sarah had the baby a couple of years ago. So we're always having to hit that 3-mile loop to make up our steps. And within that 6,500 steps, what most people are missing who do work from home typically burns 500 calories just for those steps alone. So across the course of the week, That's 3,500 calories, which tends to be that pound, if you're on a weight loss mission, that pound of weight per week, what you are missing. And I mean, we see it all the time, people not hitting the steps. And you can give us every fucking excuse in the world, but you know how many episodes of Netflix you're watching, how much time on your phone you're watching, and just that it's a tad bit cold that you don't have to go out. I mean, Sarah, where it has been shitty weather, what have you been doing?
Watching a Princess Diana documentary and marching on the spot. But you know what it is? It works. It's been a massive revelation for me, even though we've always said you need to be hitting 10,000 steps, not just your sessions and not just getting your tracking right. We've always emphasised the additional activity that you should be doing in the walking and things like that. And I massively underestimated how active I was as a coach. Obviously, walking around the gym, sorting out weight plates, all the rest of it. Up early doors, like ridiculous.
Backwards and forwards, dishing the coffees out.
Backwards and forwards, dishing coffees out. Just general work. And then I had the Ben, which wasn't 2 years ago. It was 19 months ago, darling.
He's still young. He's still a papa.
It was less than 2 years ago. And then to looking at my step count when I was sitting in the house. I mean, obviously when I had him, it was a couple of months where I could hardly walk anyway. But then it was like some days it was 2,500 steps, and it was like, fuck. That's why I need to now look at my nutrition. My maintenance was always 2,500 calories, and now I have dropped it to between 1,800 and 2,000, and that was just to sort of remedy the fact that I wasn't hammering the steps.
Yeah, but you didn't even realise that was a thing.
I didn't even realise, because you don't. I don't think you do it until you start realising how little you actually do steps. You don't realise how little you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I was hammering them. So anyway, the point was, I stand watching basically whatever shite it is. If it's cold and raining and shite outside, I'll stay in the house, put something on Netflix, and just march on the spot. Or I'll put some music on.
Yeah.
And sort of dance step.
Dance, yeah. You get into it a bit more when you put the music on.
And you know what it is? The Ben joins in as well. He puts the flashy lights on and he marches on the spot with us, which is dead cute. But it needs to be done. I feel a lot saner for it. I feel like a bit of a tit but yeah. I do it.
But no, it's one of them things where it's like, you say, right, it's 10,000 steps, but it's like, you've got to be doing that always. That's the thing is as well, it's sort of a minimum requirement for human movement. It's not just about getting those steps in and stopping. That's the minimum requirement, what a human should be moving. If that's included within your training on that day as well, it's like that is, you've still just done the minimum that day. It's like, I think I said the example, it was the live within the group, wasn't it? Like if I was personally on a fat loss mission myself, my steps would, like if I was wanting to lose it like as fast as I could say, I would be trying to hit 15,000 per day. That would be my mission around that area. Like I wouldn't be happy just always hitting that minimum. I suppose it's a human trait of where we always hit that easy route out and always try and do the bare minimum to get the biggest result. But in the case of fat loss and energy balance, then you have to be moving a lot more than what you actually think. I mean, we've got this. Hi Emma. We've got a step group within our
on Fitbit.
On Fitbit, yeah, we've got like a Fitbit group within a lot of our clients, and generally, I think it always shows the top 20. Sarah's got it there. So the top 20 people on there. Oh, good, my son's last champion. But I think it holds about. I think there's actually about 30 people within that group as well. I think it only shows the top 20. And within that, generally, it's only the top 5. So out of 30 people, hit that 70,000 per week, every week. I mean, what are we on there? Oh, it's 7.
There's only 7. There's 7 out of the top 20 hit 70,000 steps this week.
And the reason behind that is because everybody knows there's only 6 weeks left until we see everybody. So they have up the steps this week because we've seen a massive increase in activity across all clients this week, haven't we?
We have, but still 7 out of
30. No, it's 30.
7 out of 30 doing more than 70,000 steps.
Exactly. And
this is our group. This is our group who we talk to them regularly and we're always going on at them. And I'm sure some of them want to punch me in the throat. Have you done your steps?
Done your steps. But it
Because
is.
the thing is with the frustrating thing, do I find it frustrating? I do find it frustrating. Is I can see how frustrated other people are getting. Like when they're smashing the sessions in. What was that bang? Was that there? Next door. So they're hammering the sessions in, they're banging with the nutrition, and they're not making the progress that they want. And it's like, have you done your steps? No. And it's like, oh, that's just do them.
Yeah.
Just because you're getting frustrated, and then as soon as they get frustrated, they fuck the nutrition off, and then they'll pull the nutrition back, and something else will go. And it's like it steps, nutrition, training sessions.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is like for me, like I remember writing a long post last year. Like no matter what if I'm going into a weight loss type scenario, like I would go for more steps rather than smashing more sessions, because you're already
Your body can only take so much.
And plus you're in a calorie deficit, so you're in a controlled starvation really. And what you don't want to be doing is like starving your body of like so much energy where you're smashing 10 sessions or whatever, when you could just go for a bit of a longer walk, low impact, and burn as much calories as you would. Obviously still stick to you. Like for me, when I do a weight loss, I'll still stick to me 4 sessions, and that's it. I'll stick me 4 sessions and my steps will go up, my calories will go down a bit. That's it. I won't be like smashing 10 sessions across the week with it. Yeah.
People go a bit mental with it, don't they?
They do.
But the thing is, the sessions will never make up for the steps that you would do on a day-to-day basis. The thing is, it's different at the minute because we're in lockdown. You know, on a day-to-day basis, even if you work in the office, you will do more steps, making coffees or walking from the car to the building, and little bits and pieces like that. So if you take them out as well, you're even worse off with your steps. But yeah,
you can. The thing is, like as well, everybody thinks like I don't have time, but you do. And I know you always come back to the Netflix and episodes, but everyone knocks off a few episodes in the night. And when you do look at your screen time on your phone, if you want to have a look after you've watched this video, it'll be definitely over 2 hours every day. Like even on good days for me, when I'm not doing the lives with my phone, it'll still probably say 2 hours. I've getting it down. I think the best week I've ever had was like just over an hour. But that was 1 week, and that was still an hour with your screen. You don't know how many times you click where it open. Pain in the arse, but you do got to make time for it. And thing is, if you are out in your office and you do take your lunch break, get out and get your steps in. You can probably knock 3,000 steps up in half an hour. Well, you can anyway, because it's about 6,500 steps for an hour, and it typically burns around 500 calories. So that's sort of the equals to running 3 miles in less, so half an hour, but a lot less impact on the body. And that's what you want to do. You want to preserve that energy all the time. But the key thing is to be always hitting that I keep shaking the fucking table, don't I? Keep hitting that 70,000 plus across the week. But like I said, if you are wanting to truly lose that weight and you want to up it more, then hit more. 12 to 15,000, you can do it and you can make the time. If watching Netflix is more important to you, then happy days. Don't worry about it. But if your health and weight wants to come off, then you know what you got to do.
Watch Netflix at the same time as watching on the
Well, yeah, exactly. You can.
You can have the best of both worlds. That's the mental thing.
You can. Like if you watch a full episode of Netflix, like if even one of them half-hour ones, the 40-minute ones, you're going to get 5,000 steps just marching up and down on the spot. You might feel like a tit, but so what? It's only like whoever's in the house with you can watch, or the neighbours think you're a bit cracked up walking past your window. But that's it, yeah. I think that's enough. If any of you's got any questions on that matter, shoot it in. Or if not, I think I'm happy with that. I was going to mention the 90 days thing at the start, didn't I? But yeah, April 12th as well, we will be starting our 90-day programs. So if you need any information on that, just type info in the comments of this as well.
Yes, Emma, it is all about consistency. We keep having this conversation.
I think it's where I go wrong when I was training down to a T. Then I seem to stall food tracking, or vice versa. It's just getting myself to be 100% consistent in both areas and remember drink water. Yeah, it's just everything. I mean, I think I said in that in the in-group seminar what I did on habits, like couple the drinking water with something what you do. So for me, on a morning, I know I always have a coffee, but I won't have a coffee until I've drank a glass of water. And then where I've instilled that into us, I'm doing it now prior to every cup of coffee I'm doing. And I've actually stopped drinking mixy juice, not by on purpose. That's the only thing I was drinking in the house, mixed juice in the house, or dilute, whatever you want to call it. Everyone always tastes the piss when I say mixy juice.
Cordial.
Yeah. But now I'm actually only drinking water in the house, which is bizarre because I don't like water. But I am doing it through that. And obviously when I'm training, I do drink a lot of water as well. Just on steps, you fucked my calf from Tuesday. Have I, Rachel? Was it Sarah or me? I bet it was Sarah.
Right, it was all the jumpies.
Oh, I wrote the programme, didn't I? So it's all my fault.
Basically, did you not hear what Walter hated you last night?
All right. Oh, when it came to burpees, yeah.
The thing is, right, with Emma, are you still on?
Sarah.
Where
Yeah, it was Sarah, Rachel.
Where Ross is talking about habits the other week when you were showing us the space that you had to work in and how it's like such a tiny little compartment. But you'd started to march on the spot when you were there. If you were doing that all the time, every single time you were at work, your steps would go through the roof.
Yeah. Like you've got
if
it.
That was like a habit of when I get into that little box and I'm stuck in that little container, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you've got a Fitbit, so it's like you've got it there. So it's like if that should be one of your prime goals every day. It like say the habit stacking type thing. What you could do is I won't watch an episode of say Netflix or whatever. I won't even turn on the telly on until I've hit 10,000 steps that day, and then that's like sort of that reward system in place of what's ingrained with us all of our lives, where the whole reward system of like...
I don't like talking reward systems because it makes us sound like animals.
I know, but it's ingrained from our parents saying, well, you can eat this once you've had this, but then not realising, well, if you haven't finished that meal and have that, then you're having...
I've just realised you did it to me the other day.
200 more
Do you know
calories
what
than
it
what you
is?
should have
I
had.
mentioned donuts. I mentioned donuts when I went into the co-op the other day for something. And I said, I nearly bought a pack of donuts, but I didn't. So I didn't buy them. And Ross made us walk to Tesco's and bought donuts.
But we
because
walked
I'd walked to Tesco's.
Yeah.
So because I'd walked, I was all right to have a donut.
You've bought a mini bike? Yeah, I read that as like, do you know what I thought there, Rachel? That just first line, I thought one of them like mini motos. Do you know what I mean? Tiny mini motorbikes. I thought you meant one of them. But a mini bike for under the desk while home. Oh, is it like one of them little, like a little thing that goes under the desk?
You've literally just read exactly what Jay said, right? And then said it as if like you got what you meant.
I do get what I meant.
No, I know, but you repeated it.
Yeah. Cool. Sorted. But yeah, especially for all the people work in an office, if you can do anything in there, like because people do, they just sit in the car, go to work, sit all day, sit down for the bait, and then sit car, home, work, sit in the couch for the rest of the night, Netflix, boom, sorted, and then repeat next day. And that's what people are doing from home. They just put less steps from home. I mean, I bet if some people are hitting under 2,000 steps in a day working from home at the minute. Definitely. And then they might bop about like our clients do and do a home workout, but still those fundamental steps across the whole of the week haven't built up to burn those calories what you should just be burning on a day-to-day basis. Jonathan, what's your thoughts on Peloton, Eglon bikes for home and following those classes for weight loss? I think they'd be okay, actually. I don't see any negatives to them. I think they're quite a big pull out on prices. I'm not sure on the Peloton, but I'm sure it's about, is it $2,000 to start? I'm not sure.
Do you know what it is?
Or is it $1,000?
I might have looked at it and I'm sure it was about $1,000.
About $1,000. And
then the monthly
and then, yeah, 30 quid, 40 quid a month. And I mean, from what I've seen of them, they seem great.
There's nothing wrong with the product itself, like the Peloton and things like
Yeah.
that is ideal. It's how dedicated are you going to be to actually committing to it? Because at the end of the day, if your goal is weight loss, if you're not putting the time aside to actually use the Peloton and the program, and you're not also sorting your nutrition out, and you're not getting your NEAT up, then it could potentially end up being a waste of money.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something like that, you've got to commit 100% to all of the different elements of it. Buying a Peloton and it sitting in the corner is a bit of a clothes horse. It doesn't really do anyone any favours.
The thing is, before you could actually do this. You could say, right, well, am I going to get a if I am going to get a Peloton, let's say if I can dedicate myself the time to it, and within that time, set yourself a time, like say, I don't know, 6 a.m, 4 days a week, and go for a 3-mile walk instead, where you would burn about 500 calories. And then if you can commit to that and wanted to up it so you've got that Peloton thing in the house, then do it.
Because you know you've committed.
Because you know you've committed to it. I mean, where the Peloton, where you're making quite a big investment into it, you're probably more inclined to use it. Yeah, because it is, isn't it? Like the more you're investing into something, the more you're going to use it. So it depends. But I mean, it's like, how have you ever bought home equipment before? And if so, how did that go? Because it's one of, what was the stat on it? It's like one of the biggest wastes of money people buy, like home equipment, obviously for the last year. But I think come April, June, July time, I think a lot of people are going to be selling all the home gear again. Yep, definitely. And where the price of things have shot right up. But if you're a busy person, then the Peloton might be good. And like you might like that nice high intensity boom, sort of done. I think you get your own coach on it as well. I think you do. I don't know how many people it is per coach. But from everything, what it sounds like, I think they're fine, to be fair. Like, I'd like to have a go, to be honest. But I know I couldn't do it long time because it's one element. Once, like if you're doing a spinning class every single day, if you like spinning, then happy days. But I'd sharp get bored.
I think everything's good as long as you stick to it. That's the
well, as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah, as long as you stick to it and you enjoy it, but you stick to it because you enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. You might invest in this Peloton, and it might not be there.
You might not like it.
You might hate it. You might end up getting like a hyped up American coach on there, like who does your tits in from day one. But yeah,
you might love it.
But you might love it, exactly. Sorted. I think we've waffled on enough. But yeah, any questions at all as well, and if you want any information on our 90-day program starting April 12th, write info in the comments and we'll get back to you, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye. Bye.